So there's another feature called Handoff, and what Handoff lets you do is move data and application states from one iOS device to another. So if you're browsing a website on your phone, you can magically show up next to your MacBook and transfer that whole website over to your MacBook in the middle of it. So there's got to be a certain distance between the devices, and again, this feature uses APN. Both devices have to sign into iCloud. Once they're in iCloud, key is generated, and the two devices communicate over the APN service to establish a session. Once they've done that, they use Bluetooth low energy to communicate advertisements directly with each other. And by advertisement, I mean the MacBook says, "Hey, I'm here," and the tablet or the phone says, "Hey, I'm here." And of course, the advertisement itself is encrypted, and it uses a 256-bit AES on Bluetooth Low Energy, and Bluetooth Low Energy is also encrypted, and any message sent between the devices has its own encryption similar to iMessage. So, if the two devices are talking and you're sharing websites, apps, data on the clipboard, that goes through the Bluetooth low energy with its own layer of encryption. If you're transferring larger files, however, they go through TLS over Wi-Fi. So you can make and receive phone calls through your MacBook, provided it's connected to your phone, and it doesn't have to be physically connected. Again, it uses the APN service, so when your phone connects to a cell tower, if it receives a call, the phone can advertise that phone call through the APN service, and you can answer it on your MacBook or on your iPad. But the rule is that actually it's only your cell phone that's communicating directly with the tower. So the voice data actually gets transmitted from the other device over a peer-to-peer connection. And a similar system is in place for text messages, except text messages travel through the iMessage server. So again, if you send or receive a text message through the tower, it goes directly to your phone, and your phone can pass it to your MacBook or your iPad. But again, keeping in mind that communication back to the cellular network always takes place through the phone. And finally, can talk about Safari. Safari communicates with the Apple server, especially when you search for something in the search bar. It communicates over HTTPS, and the data that Safari shares with Apple is absolutely staggering. A search query itself, your GPS location, the type of device you're searching on. So if you have a phone or a tablet, what kind of connection you have. Are you on Wi-Fi? Are you hardwired? Probably not. Are you on 4G? The three most recent apps that you used on the device before performing the search, the most popular apps on your device, and language or input preference, and a unique identifier. The unique identifier changes every 15 minutes, but Apple doesn't say that it's random, it just says that it's a rotating identifier, which is interesting, will say that the GPS location is blurred, and by blurred I mean it's not a precise GPS location. Takes into account the size of the population in the area that you're in. So if you're in a big city, the GPS location might be down to a kilometer or a mile. If you're out in a rural area where there's less people and it's easier to identify you, GPS location might be down to 10 miles. But of course, that depends on the accuracy of the population data used to blur the GPS location. And this data is stored by Apple for 18 months. And some of it is shared with Bing or some other search engines. And again, that's over HTTPS.